two outside eyes are the ones that see, so he actually I imagine he would see like a horse sees.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Mother Nature has a working plan for her inhabitants, and she sticks to it to the letter. However, every 1,000 years or so, it feels as though she gets a little more creative and provides us animals that are genuinely one of a kind. So, from an immortal jellyfish to a two-headed pig and a snake with legs, here are some of the rarest animals that are only born once every 1,000 years. CLEYED the Cyclops. CLEYED the Cyclops, a one-eyed Bengal kitten, did not live long, but his floored owners were able to capture some of his brief existence. To begin with, his mother's both uterine horns were twisted together 3 times. Our veterinarian began the surgery after untwisting the horns, and the baby was removed. It was discovered that he was born with a rare condition that left him with only one eye and no nose, and that the small kitten died sadly soon after birth. Immortal jellyfish. Only one species has been categorized as biologically immortal so far, the jellyfish Turritopsis dohrnii. These small, translucent animals may travel back in time by returning to an earlier stage of their life cycle and can be found in waters all over the world. A fertilized egg starts as a new jellyfish life, which develops into a larval stage known as a planula. The planula grabs onto a surface after a rapid swim and grows into a polyp, which is a tube-shaped structure with a mouth on one end and a kind of foot on the other. It remains fixed in place for a long period, eventually forming a small colony of polyps that share feeding tubes. Two-headed pig. A two-headed pig has been born in a hamlet in Jiangxi Province, East China, on the heels of a different two-headed pig being born in a village in the same province. The pig had 2 snouts, 2 ears, and what appeared to be a single eye. According to a local veterinarian, the animal has a malformation and is unlikely to survive. It happens when one embryo splits into 2 different organisms, known as twins, but the process isn't complete. The animal's owners, on the other hand, agreed not to slaughter it straight away. OCTOGOAT. An 8-legged goat was born on a farm in Croatia, and it was named OCTOGOAT. If you can believe it, the story gets even stranger, because it turns out that this goat not only had a lot of additional legs, but it also had male and female reproductive organs. It was said that an embryonic twin produced the newborn goat's unusual biological condition, and the goat simply adopted the body parts of his unborn siblings. OCTOGOAT, according to experts, has a good chance of living for several years. Snake with legs. Consider a snake that has legs, but yet has the ability to slither. That's how snakes used to be, and there's evidence that certain snakes have resurrected their legs. Why? 2 scientists recently identified the sonic hedgehog gene in pythons while trying to figure out whether snakes originated to slither and then re-evolved to make legs, or whether there's another explanation for what looks to be double evolution. Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the numerous genes named after the hedgehog-like spines that emerge from embryos as limb development begins. Marsupial. Most mammals can become pregnant multiple times during their adult lives, while marsupials typically only have 1 or 2 children in their lifespan. Small hopping marsupials found across eastern Australia outdo. According to new studies, marsupial females are always pregnant. All marsupials have tiny, immature babies who crawl to a special pouch to feed on their mother's milk. They are able to mate and conceive within a day after birth. Rare two-headed snake. After a family discovered the odd snake in Palm Harbor, Florida, wildlife officials are caring for it. According to the state's Fish and Wildlife Research Institute, its southern black racer is bicephalic, which is why it has 2 heads. It is likely due to monozygotic twins failing to separate during embryo development. Two-headed snakes are unlikely to survive in the wild because their brains make different decisions that prohibit them from feeding or fleeing predators. The snake's tongues can be flicked by both heads, and each head reacts to movement in distinct ways. occasionally responding to stimuli differently. Terrible grasshopper. Terrible grasshoppers, or giant weta, were discovered in remnant patches of tawa forest on Mahwenui in the southern King Country. They were most likely previously widespread throughout Waikato's lowland woods. They deposit little clusters of up to 100 eggs, which develop in the ground and hatch only when the weather warms up, which can take up to 10 months. They are a one-of-a-kind species because they have two distinct colors. Females are larger than males, and one female was discovered with half of her body covered in mahogany and the other half in yellow. Whippet muscular. Bully whippet syndrome is a rare condition that can transform a typically skinny dog into a massively muscled creature that appears like it's been working out. The genetic disease develops when two copies of the myostatin gene are faulty, resulting in double muscling. When compared to whippets with normal myostatin genes, those with only a single faulty copy of the gene exhibit greater speed and musculature. The dog's massive muscles make it appear strong, but its heart and lungs are still the size of an ordinary whippet. This means that the increased weight and effort of those two muscles exert more strain on the dog's cardiac system, resulting in a probable death. Pink dolphin. The Amazon river dolphin, sometimes known as the pink dolphin, is a freshwater creature. River dolphins are smaller than other forms of saltwater dolphins and have great hearing. They live in the Amazon and Orinoco rivers. Because they have so little fat, these dolphins must live in warm, shallow water. River dolphins are rarely in captivity, and only a few aquariums are capable of keeping them alive. It has teeth that are conical in shape, which it uses to hunt small fish and other animals. The nose of a river dolphin is 4 times longer than that of an ocean dolphin. The pink dolphin's stomach is divided into 2 chambers, and they breathe through a blowhole. White deer. Seneca Army Depot's white deer are a natural variety of white-tailed deer, which are generally brown in color. They are leucistic, which means they have no pigment in their hair, yet have normal brown eyes. They freely interbreed with brown deer and share the same habitat. The antlers of some whitebucks flatten or palmate, yet they are physiologically comparable in most other aspects. Although the genetics of these deer have not been well studied, a genetic disorder for lack of pigmentation appears to hinder normal hair color. Four-legged duck. Meet the four-legged duckling, Stumpy. In 2007, he was born on a farm in Copperthorne, England. When he was born, Nicky, the farm's owner, picked him up to check him, just like he had done with every other duckling so far. He noticed that Stumpy had 4 legs instead of the usual 2 that most ducks have. These weren't just random limbs, the extra legs were fully stable, and he was even running on them. It was a strange sight, and later, the legs simply slipped off, leaving small stumps, earning him the nickname Stumpy. However, he didn't appear to realize that his legs had gone from 4 to 2, and he went on to have a pretty regular duck life. Glow-in-the-dark cat. Cats have a natural tendency to reflect light, but the other cats produce their own light. These rare cats weren't born naturally, but were the result of an experimental experiment in which scientists were exploring DNA mutations and injected some cats with a jellyfish gene, resulting in a jellyfish kitty. The cats looked normal during the day, but as night fell and other cats vanished into the darkness, these cats glow green. There were no more glow-in-the-dark cats born after these, but they make the sweetest tiny lamps in the world. Three-headed frog. In 2004, Froggy, a 3-headed frog, was discovered at the Green Umbrella Nursery in the West End Super area. Hundreds of frogs live in the nursery, but none have ever been like this one. This frog not only has 3 heads, but also 6 feet to match the heads, making him appear to be 3 frogs in one. Pollution was proven to be the most likely source of Froggy's birth defects, and because of his appearance, he became an instant sensation, with people flocking to see him. However, he disliked attention and escaped from his tank, never to be seen again. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you've come across, just send it on over to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. The subscriber's pick. This human-like goat was born on a farm in Gujarat, India, and the farmer mistook it for a human because it had a human-like forehead, nose, mouth, and even eyes. Even though this extremely rare goat died, the people of the region began worshipping it as a god. Crooked Neck Giraffe. She was born on July 16, 1986 in the African plains, and despite the fact that she was fine when she was born, as she grew older, it was discovered that her neck had a bent that gradually worsened until it was at a sharp 90-degree angle, unlike any giraffe seen in hundreds of years. Although most animals with such a deformity would die within a few days or weeks, she lived a full life, dying at the age of 21 from old age, and never letting her crook and neck get in the way of her living. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.